To save our sick older daughter, Lily, my wife induced labor at 7 months for the umbilical cord blood. It was against my better judgment. The cord blood was viable, but we lost the baby. Other preemies survive. Why didn't ours? It must be your genes. I bit back my anger, telling myself she was grieving, hormonal. I could forgive the words. But then she turned around and gave the cord blood, the blood our second child died for, to her ex-boyfriend. 1. What do you mean, half of it is gone? Half of our daughter's life-saving cord blood is missing. I was on the phone with the hospital administrator when I looked over at my wife, Chloe. She was lying in her hospital bed, casually scrolling through her phone. Our second baby was gone. Our first, Lily, was fighting for her life. I didn't want to upset Chloe, not now, but this was our daughter's only chance. Chloe glanced up, her expression placid. Oh, that? I paid the doctor to split the sample. I gave half to Caleb. Lily's so little, she only needs a tiny bit. She paused, then added, besides, Caleb is my childhood sweetheart. I couldn't just watch him die, could I? How could I have forgotten? Caleb needed that cord blood, too. He was the great love of her life, a fact she never let me forget. He and my daughter had the same rare blood disease. But this time, the casual mention of his name sent a shock of pure rage through me. Chloe, are you insane? Lily is your daughter. That was her only hope, and you gave it away without even asking me. My eyes fell to the pink hospital band on her wrist. My raised hand clenched into a fist, then dropped to my side, trembling. She'd just been through labor. I couldn't hit her. Seeing my gesture, her eyes widened in defiance. Go on, do it. I dare you, Ethan. You're a spineless coward, she screamed. We can have other kids. Caleb is different. He was my whole life before you came along. What's wrong with me saving him? Chloe knew how to make a scene. The other patients in the ward were staring. Swallowing my fury, I picked up an apple from the bedside table and started peeling it for her, the motion mechanical. Chloe, I'm sorry, I said, my voice tight. You just gave birth, you lost the baby. I shouldn't be yelling. This wasn't the time or place. I knew I'd lost control, and I offered her an out. She took it. Ethan, you don't understand what Caleb means to me, she said, her voice softening. He was with me for 20 years. Before I married you, he was always there. He's important, she continued, her tone pleading. Lily's doctor said she only needed a small amount of cord blood, right? It's fine that we gave a little extra to Caleb. Don't be so cheap. Besides, even if Lily is cured, there's no guarantee she'll be completely healthy. It would be a waste to use so much on her. The doctor had said Lily only needed a certain amount for the initial procedure, but he'd also stressed that we needed the rest in reserve for complications. Chloe had conveniently forgotten that part. A waste. She called saving her own daughter a waste. My fingernails dug into my palms. I fought the urge to throttle her. I said nothing, just silently waited for her to finish her pleaso I could clean up. Why can't you be more fun? Like Caleb, she sighed, tossing the core onto the tray. You're always so serious. It's exhausting just looking at you. She pushed herself up. Go file my discharge papers. I can't stand another second in this place. I need to go see when Caleb's surgery is scheduled. Caleb. I couldn't take it anymore. Crash. I swept the bag of her belongings off the table, sending them scattering across the foot of her bed. Empty snack wrappers and fruit peels littered the white sheets. Caleb, is that all you can think about? Chloe, for God's sake, I'm your husband. My voice was low and shaking with rage. I'm a patient man, but I'm not a saint. So much for her just having given birth. She clearly didn't care. She was already rushing to her childhood sweetheart side. Why was I the only one walking on eggshells? Childhood sweetheart. No, he was the one that got away. Her ex-boyfriend of 5 years. Chloe stared at me, her mouth hanging open. Before she could speak, I cut her off. You want to be discharged to go see him? Fine. I'll go handle it right now. It'll save me some money I can put toward Lily's treatment. I snarled, turning to leave. You care about him so much? Then go. Be with him, too. After she was discharged, she was barely home. She spent nearly all her time at the hospital with Caleb. Lily's transplant was scheduled for the day after his. Chloe, can you please come up and see Lily? She's scared. They're about to take her in his surgery. I had Lily on the phone with me, hoping her weak little voice would break through to her mother. I should have known better. Her reply was cold, detached. Caleb has no one else to take care of him. I can't leave. He just got out of surgery, and I need to be here. Lily's a little kid. What does she know about being scared? Then, her voice turned sharp. Ethan, I don't care if you're jealous, but don't you dare coach our daughter to manipulate me. You're disgusting. She hung up. When I tried to call back, her phone went straight to voicemail. Lily had heard everything. Tears streamed down her pale cheeks. Daddy, Mommy hates me, doesn't she? Because I made our baby sister die, and I made her sad. Daddy, I'm not scared anymore, she whispered, trying to be brave for me. Uncle Caleb is Mommy's best friend. I don't blame her. My little girl was comforting me. I wiped her tears away. You're the bravest girl I know, Lilybug. I murmured, my voice thick. Daddy will be right outside waiting for you. Sensing my fear, she reached up and touched my face with her small, fragile hand. I'm not going to die, Daddy. I haven't even been to the ocean with you yet. Why get better? Will you take me to see the ocean? And it would be even better if Mommy could come with us. Before I could answer, the orderlies came to wheel her into the operating room. I was left alone in the sterile hallway, the minutes stretching into an eternity. Her last words echoed in my head. Against my better judgment, I sent Chloe one last text. Lily really wants to go to the beach with you when she's better. When the time comes, do you think you can make it? The message went unanswered. Mindlessly, I opened Facebook. I saw that she had blocked me. But a mutual friend had shared Caleb's post from half an hour ago. My blood ran cold. Caleb Hayes, thanks for being by my side, babe. Already feeling better. I know you wouldn't have taken the risk and induced early if it wasn't for me. You still love me most. I know it. The picture was of Chloe, asleep, her head resting on his hospital bed, her hand clutching his. He was showing off. I knew it. We had dozens of mutual friends. The comments started rolling in. His buddies were egging him on. Get a room, you two. Caleb replied, easy, guys. Her husband is watching. One of them shot back. Oh, please, you're the only husband she cares about. After all those years together, I bet you know her body better than he does. LOL. 3. The comment thread got worse. I felt sick. As I was about to close the app, I saw a new comment. It was from Chloe. Chloe Scott Miller. Of course, my real husband is Caleb. That other guy could never compare. He's so boring, I'm sick of looking at his face. It makes my skin crawl when he touches me. That other guy, she wouldn't even use my name. So this is what she was doing. Trading crude jokes with her ex-boyfriend's friends, humiliating me for the world to see, while our daughter was undergoing surgery. Not a single word about Lily. Hours passed. The surgery ended, and still no reply to my text. Looking at Lily's small, pale face in the recovery room, I was filled with a cold, hard rage. Chloe, are you even a mother? You're so busy taking care of another man, you can't even be bothered with your own daughter while she's in surgery. Even an animal protects its own young. What does that make you? I knew she'd ignore it, but I had to send it. The doctor had just told me the news was not good. The amount of cord blood was insufficient. Lily's recovery was now uncertain. They needed to monitor her vitals closely, and I had to start looking for another cord blood match. Immediately, my world was collapsing. How had it come to this? My text must have hit a nerve. A moment later, my phone rang. It was Chloe. Ethan, how dare you? What's wrong with me taking care of my friend? Our daughter has you, doesn't she? She's not dead. So what are you panicking about? Caleb is all alone here. I can't just leave him. Stop texting me. You'll disturb his rest. He needs to recover. Every word was about Caleb's well-being. For her own daughter, there was only ice. Chloe, do you hate Lily that much? She is your daughter. Can't you spare her even a fraction of the concern you show him? A single question. One phone call. I never understood why she was so cold to Lily. From the day she was born, Chloe had never praised her, never even held her. Concern. For her, she laughed a harsh, ugly sound. She gave me stretch marks. She ruined my body. She's the reason I lost my chance to be with Caleb and got stuck with a loser like you. You want me to show concern? I wish you would just hurry up and die. Her voice rose to a fever pitch. Why do you think I agreed to a second baby? To get cord blood. It was never for her. It was for Caleb. It would be better if she just died. So that was it. She still blamed me for what happened the night she and Caleb broke up. She came to my apartment, drunk and crying. She was the one who wouldn't let me go. When she found out she was pregnant, her parents, pillars of the local charity scene, pressured her to marry me. They never approved of Caleb. an orphan with a volatile temper. I was the safe choice, and I loved her. I thought after all these years, I could have warmed her heart. That night, you were the one who initiated it, Chloe. I know I'm not what you wanted, but I'm still legally your husband. Why do you have to be so cruel? Lily. She's innocent. Please, don't take it out on her. You don't have to love me. But please, don't wish death on our daughter. Her confession was a knife in my gut. I knew she loved Caleb, but hearing her say it so plainly still broke something inside me. Lily must have heard Chloe's voice through the phone. Her vitals on the monitor beside her bed began to fluctuate wildly. Suddenly, a piercing alarm blared through the room. Beep, 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 beep. The sound was deafening. Lily's heart rate was spiking, her blood pressure through the roof. I fumbled for the call button. Nurse. Doctor. Her heart rate is crashing. The alarm. Get in here. Doctors and nurses rushed in, and Lily was wheeled away to the ICU. I was left outside, separated by a pane of glass. The call was still connected. Chloe, I said, my voice hollow. Bring back the rest of the cord blood. Lily's back in the ICU. I had no fight left in me. Her voice dripped with scorn. Give a rest, Ethan. You'll do anything to get your way. Caleb is fine after his surgery, so why would Lily have a problem? You're just cheap, and you're making up excuses to get the cord blood back. I know you hate Caleb, but I'm not falling for your tricks. I have to go give him a massage now. I'm tired of listening to you and your daughter's melodrama. The moment she hung up, a doctor emerged from the ICU. He told me they had done everything they could. Lily was gone. The news was 1,000 needles piercing my heart. I would make them pay. I would make those two suffer for this. For Inch, what were you thinking? The head doctor demanded, his face grim. I told you, explicitly, to keep the remaining cord blood in reserve. And you just gave it away? You people. I am sorry. Please accept my condolences. He trailed off, seeing the look on my face. I stared numbly as they wheeled my daughter's body out, covered by a white sheet. My heart felt like it was being carved out of my chest. Lilybug, wake up. Daddy bought the plane tickets to the ocean. You promised you'd be brave. Don't be a sleepyhead, my little lazybones. I leaned over the gurney, gently squeezing her small hand. Does that hurt? You always used to tell me I squeezed too hard. No matter what I said, she didn't answer. Her hand was cold still. She would never link her pinky with mine again, never pull on my cheek and giggle again. Sir, we're so sorry for your loss, a nurse said gently. You need to go down to admissions to handle the paperwork. We'll take her to the morgue, or maybe you should contact her mother. The word mother made something snap inside me. She doesn't have a mother. That woman doesn't deserve the name. My shout echoed in the quiet hallway. Realizing I'd lost it, I mumbled an apology to the nurse. I went to the restroom and splashed cold water on my face, forcing myself to breathe. Then I walked through the hospital in a daze, signing papers, making arrangements, all alone. By the time the cremation was complete, Chloe hadn't called once. Not even a fake text to pretend she cared. I called her parents. Ethan, our Chloe is such a kind girl, her mother said, her voice dripping with disbelief. She would never abandon her daughter. Are you sure you didn't do something to upset her? They were prominent philanthropists. They couldn't imagine their perfect daughter being capable of such cruelty. If you want to see your granddaughter one last time, you can come to the crematorium. I said my piece and hung up. Then I dialed Chloe. I didn't want her here, but her parents needed to see the truth. Ethan, will you ever let it go? She snapped. So I took a little cord blood. Is it really worth hounding me over it? I already told you. She's a little kid. She didn't need that much. Why are you calling every 5 minutes? Is she dying or something? Her words were sharp, impatient, filled with nothing but disgust. Yes, she is dead, I said, my voice flat and emotionless. If you don't believe me, come to the crematorium. I'm sure it will make you very happy. From the other end of the line, I heard Caleb's voice. Chloe, just give it to him. The doctor just checked on me and said my recovery is going great. I probably won't need it. Chloe's tone instantly softened as she cooed over how kind and thoughtful Caleb was. When she spoke to me again, her voice was full of venom. You're sick in the head, Ethan. So morbid. This is bad luck? Fine, I'll bring you the damn cord blood. 5 at the funeral home. Chloe pulled up just as I was walking out with the small, heavy box containing my daughter's ashes. Lily had always dreamed of the ocean. I would scatter her ashes there. She would like that. Chloe, dressed in a vibrant red dress, jumped out of the car. Caleb was with her. He looked flushed, healthy. He was recovering beautifully. If only my daughter had had access to that backup core blood, she would be laughing and alive right now. I clutched the box tighter. She used to weigh 40 pounds. Now this was all that was left. Ethan, you really are sick, Chloe sneered. You came all the way to a funeral home and bought a fake urn just to trick me into giving you back this core blood? I underestimated you. Here, take it, she said, tossing the medical-grade container at me. It bounced off the box of ashes I was holding, making me come all the way out to this depressing place. You've ruined my day. She turned to get back in the car, but Caleb gently stopped her. Chloe, what if it's real? You should go see. See what? If she's really dead, that's even better. I won't have to look at her sickly face ever again. She was a jinx, nothing but bad luck. Just then, another car pulled up. Her parents. They had arrived just in time to hear her last words. Her father, a renowned philanthropist, stared at his daughter, his eyes filled with a mixture of shock and fury. Her mother strode forward and slapped Chloe hard across the face. Crack! Mom! Chloe whimpered. You hit me. I didn't do anything wrong. It was Ethan. He kept trying to stop me from saving Caleb. She looked to her father for support, but he just shook his head in bitter disappointment. I'm hitting you to atone for your sins, her mother shrieked. You took your own daughter's life-saving medicine and gave it to someone else, and now you stand here and insult her memory. What is so special about that man that you would let your own child die? How are your father and I supposed to hold our heads up in public after this? Chloe was stunned, tears welling in her eyes, but there was no remorse. Mom, she can't be dead. It's a trick. Ethan's just putting on a show for you. He's just jealous that I was taking care of Caleb. Don't fall for it. Her father couldn't stand it any longer. He threw a handful of papers in her face. They scattered across the pavement. Lily's hospital admission forms, the critical condition notices, her death certificate. They had gone to the hospital to verify the story. I'd been in such a state, I'd left the papers behind. For all their faults, her parents at least had that much conscience. You read these, read them, and tell me if that's not your daughter's name on every single one, her father roared. He then turned on Caleb. And you, don't think I don't know what you're after. I'll donate every penny of my family's fortune to charity before you see a single dime. Caleb paled under her father's tirade. Chloe's hands trembled as she picked up the death certificate. How? How could she be dead? They used the core blood. She mumbled. I only hated how clingy she was. I didn't actually want her to die. At that moment, I took the core blood container she had brought and smashed it on the ground at her feet. It shattered, splashing a brilliant, tragic bloom of red across the asphalt. Where was this remorse before? I screamed, my voice raw. You think crying now will bring Lily back? While she was fighting for her life, you were giving another man a massage. While she desperately needed that medicine, you were cursing her to die. Lily is dead. You should be happy. So why are you crying? You should be laughing. Chloe had never seen me this angry. She collapsed onto the pavement, terrified. Caleb, looking guilty, stepped forward. Ethan, I'm sorry. I didn't know it would turn out like this. If I had known, I wouldn't have used the extra cord blood, he mumbled. It's all my fault. His apology was hollow, pathetic. He couldn't even bring himself to bow his head. Her parents heard his words and understood everything. Why couldn't you leave my daughter alone? Chloe's father bellowed, lunging at Caleb and punching him squarely in the jaw. You even stole my granddaughter's only chance at life. Couldn't you find your own donor? Caleb, already weakened from surgery, crumpled to the ground. The funeral home was usually deserted, but Chloe's parents were well-known figures. If someone filmed this, it would be a scandal. Honey, stop. The media might see. Chloe's mother pleaded, trying to pull him back, but she was no match for his strength. He broke free and kicked Caleb again as he lay on the ground. Caleb looked like a stray dog, blood trickling from the corner of his mouth. Dad, stop it. Please stop hitting him. Chloe shrieked. Caleb just had surgery. He can't take this. She scrambled over to Caleb, cradling him in her arms. Lily, she's already dead. I can have another baby. It's okay. We can have more kids, but there's only one Caleb. I love him. This was his only chance to live. I couldn't just let him die. In that moment, any trace of guilt for her daughter had vanished. When it came to Caleb, nothing else mattered. Lily only had one chance to live, too. I roared back at her. He's a grown man who can't take a single kick. What about your daughter, suffering in an operating room? Where's your concern then? How dare he use that cord blood? Lily died in agony, and you're not afraid she and her little sister will come back to haunt you? Her parents looked at her with utter disgust. If you insist on being with him, fine, her father said, his voice cold as ice. But from this day forward, you're no longer a part of the Scott family. We don't have a daughter like you. They had always known Caleb was after their money. That's why they forced her to marry me in the first place. Just as her parents turned to leave, Caleb's eyes rolled back in his head, and he passed out. Chloe looked up at me, her eyes wild with panic. Ethan, please help me. Caleb can't die. I stood over her, clutching my daughter's ashes, and looked down at her with contempt. Help you? He can't have anything happen to him, but my daughter deserved to die. Is that it? When Lily was coding, were you this frantic? No, you didn't even offer a single word of comfort. All you did was wish she would die faster. Chloe, don't you find it ironic, asking me for help now? The daughter of a famous philanthropist, caught cheating on her husband, begging him to help her lover, right in front of her daughter's ashes. With your parents' fame, how do you think that headline will play out? You'll be a household name. And him, I sneered, gesturing at the unconscious Caleb. He loves stealing other people's medicine, right? Well, I hope he spends the rest of his life on a cocktail of drugs, with surgery every other week. I'll see you at the courthouse tomorrow morning. We'll get a divorce, and you two lovebirds can finally be together. The people who hurt my daughter would get what they deserved. As I walked away, Chloe's desperate screams for me to help Caleb faded behind me. I didn't look back, just got in my car, holding my daughter's ashes. The next morning, Chloe was already waiting for me at the courthouse. The moment the divorce was finalized, a weight lifted off my shoulders. The story of what happened at the funeral home was leaked by an onlooker and went viral. Chloe's parents were dragged into the spotlight with her. Daughter of famed philanthropist kills child to save lover. I used to partner with their foundation. Looks like it's all a front. I heard she cheated on her husband and stole her dying daughter's cord blood for her ex-boyfriend. Chloe became a public pariah, forced to wear a hat and mask whenever she left the house. Caleb recovered from his collapse, but then he had the audacity to have Chloe demand I pay for his emotional distress. He would call and threaten me, saying I was a monster for leaving him for dead. I never responded. Then, one day, they showed up at my door. If you hadn't taken advantage of me that night, I never would have married you. Chloe shrieked, her face twisted with hate. Ethan, Lily's death isn't just my fault. It's yours, too. Your genes are defective, not mine. Why should I be the only one getting all the hate online while you get to live in peace? The air crackled with her rage. She was just one daughter, and she's already dead. Are you ever going to let it go? All I did was use a little cord blood. Was it really necessary to tell the whole world? If you want another kid, just go make one with someone else. Or maybe you can't anymore. After all, with your bad genes, any kid you have is bound to die young, just like your two pathetic daughters. A couple of short-lived freaks, huh? Ethan, you're the one who leaked that story from the funeral home, weren't you? Caleb added, his voice dripping with venom despite his weak appearance. For a grown man, you sure know how to fight dirty. Insult me, I could take it, but insulting my innocent children? I snapped. Crack! The solid wood chair I was sitting in connected with Caleb's head. A stream of blood trickled down his forehead. If your mouth is that foul, maybe you shouldn't use it anymore, I said, my voice dangerously calm. I grabbed the tube of superglue I'd been using to mount Lily's picture and squeezed the entire contents into Caleb's open mouth. I knew he wouldn't be able to swallow it. His survival instinct would kick in. He wouldn't die. I just wanted him to suffer. His screams turned into muffled gurgles. He clutched his head, writhing on the floor. Chloe's terrified shriek filled the room. Ethan, stop. You'll kill him. Stop. I ignored her. You say one more word, and I'll glue your mouth shut, too. They were finally quiet. The arrogance was gone, replaced by a pathetic, begging fear. Get on your knees and apologize to my daughter, I commanded, or neither of you are walking out of this house today. I grabbed Caleb by the collar and kicked the back of his knees. He collapsed in front of the small table holding Lily's portrait. Chloe scrambled to kneel beside him. She was too terrified to even look at the photo, shrinking against Caleb. I grabbed her by the hair and forced her to look at our daughter's clear, smiling eyes. The girl in the picture seemed to be looking right at her. It wasn't me. Don't haunt me. It wasn't TMY fault you died. It wasn't. Chloe started screaming. Before they passed out, I called an Uber and had the driver take them to the emergency room. My hatred was a deep, cold thing. I wasn't going to kill them. I was going to ruin their lives. After that, they left me alone for a while. I bought a plot for Lily in a quiet cemetery in the city so I could visit her anytime. The cemetery had excellent security with hidden cameras everywhere to prevent vandalism. The online backlash against Chloe's family continued to grow. Finally, unable to take the pressure, she showed up at my house again, this time with her parents. Ethan, for the sake of our marriage, for the 2 daughters I gave you, for Lily's sake, I'm begging you, Chloe said, dropping to her knees the moment she walked in the door. Please, post a clarification online. The hate, the attacks. I can't take it anymore. Her parents, despite their claims of disowning her, were clearly there to support her. The scandal was threatening their precious reputation as philanthropists. I ignored Chloe and sat down on the couch. Her mother tried to reason with me, forcing a smile. Ethan, your aunt knows you're a good father, a good man. What happened with Lily is a tragedy for all of us. But people can't be brought back from the dead. Chloe knows she was wrong. Can't you find in your heart to forgive her? Please, just post a statement. She knew she was wrong. Admitting it is the bare minimum, I said coldly. Forgiving her is impossible. You should go. I didn't post anything online. Maybe you should think about who else you've pissed off. And let me be clear, I continued, my voice rising. None of you, including Caleb, have ever understood what you did wrong. You think this is just about her abandoning our daughter. No, it's about all of you desecrating her memory, even after she was gone. You want me to issue a clarification? What do I clarify? That my daughter died of natural causes, that Chloe didn't steal her life-saving medicine for her ex-boyfriend. Let me ask you this. If it were Chloe who had died, could you so easily forgive the person responsible? Her father's face went pale, his jaw clenched in a fist. See, you couldn't do it either. You'd want to kill the person who hurt your daughter. That's how I feel every single day. Do you still want me to post that clarification? I looked at each of them. They all wore different expressions of shame and anger. They left without another word. As Chloe walked out, the look in her eyes was pure hatred. She was plotting something. No remorse, not an ounce of guilt. The human capacity for selfishness was astounding. They couldn't stomach the consequences of their own actions, so they tried to force me to swallow them instead. And Caleb, it turned out, was tougher than he looked. The Superglue incident didn't keep him down for long. He started texting me threats. Ethan, this isn't over. You've made an enemy for life. You think your daughter's going to rest in peace? Think again. You care about her so much. I'm going to make sure she never knows a moment's peace, even in death. The man was an animal. He was threatening to desecrate a child's grave. A cold dread washed over me. I drove to the cemetery in the middle of the night. It was silent, eerie. When I reached Lily's grave, my heart stopped. The ground in front of her headstone was littered with evidence of the most depraved act imaginable. The sick bastards. I thought it was just talk, but they had really done it. Tears streaming down my face, I took photos. Then I went to the security office and asked to see the surveillance footage. The groundskeeper showed me the tapes. For months, they had been coming here, pretending to visit their daughter. The camera had recorded it all. Their vile words, their unspeakable actions on top of her grave. What are you scared of? Caleb's voice, tinny and distorted, came from the video. We're just showing your daughter the truth. That her mother hates her, that she never loved her. That cord blood was never for her. We're showing her exactly how she was conceived. Doesn't Ethan care about his precious daughter? He sneered. The more he cares, the more I want to destroy her purity. It's a special place, isn't it? Aren't you excited? I suppressed the urge to find a knife and hunt them down. Instead, I paid a contact to leak the photos and the video. Let them burn. Within an hour of being posted, the story exploded. Philanthropist's daughter and lover defile child's grave in shocking video. This is the most disturbing thing I have ever seen. Are they not afraid of ghosts? The man's words are pure evil. This is a whole new level of psychopathy. To be a mistress is one thing, but to be so brazen about it. They have no humanity, no morals. That poor little girl. betrayed by her own mother in life, and now violated by her in death. If they wouldn't let my daughter rest, then they could enjoy being spit on by the entire world. All I felt was a profound sorrow for Lily. If only they knew the truth. If only they knew who Lily really was. Would they feel the same agony that I did? Caleb, overwhelmed by the public crucifixion, had another health crisis and was admitted to the ICU. That's it. I thought he had more fight in him than that. I wasn't done with him yet. I found out which hospital he was in and bought a fruit basket to pay him a visit. The nurses gave me strange, resentful looks. He had been moved to a regular room that day. While I walked in, Chloe was dutifully at his bedside, tending to him. If she had shown my daughter a fraction of that care, Lily might still be alive. I took a deep breath, trying to calm the storm inside me. It had been months, but the grief was still a raw, open wound. "Ethan, what are you doing here?" Chloe asked, her voice a mix of surprise and fear. Caleb's face was pale, but his eyes were full of defiance and a twisted sort of pride. "No remorse at all. Just came to see if he was dead yet," I said with a smile. "Congratulations on going viral." Chloe opened her mouth to curse at me, but then thought better of it. The other beds in the ward were empty. I pulled up a chair. "Ethan, I can sue you for invasion of privacy." Caleb rasped, still trying to threaten me. I laughed. "Go ahead. But first, you'll have to be able to stand up." After everything he'd been through, I knew his body was wrecked. His expression darkened. I'd hit a nerve. "So what?" he sneered. "At least I got to defile your precious daughter's grave. You have no idea how good that felt." Ha ha. He was still laughing when I turned to Chloe. "And you, Chloe, did you also think it felt good to do something that depraved on your own daughter's grave?" Just then, her parents walked in, just in time to hear my question. "Of course it did." Chloe shrieked, her sanity finally snapping. "She was a jinx. If it weren't for her, I never would have been stuck with you. If it weren't for her, Caleb and I wouldn't have had to suffer so much. She ruined my life, and I hate her. I curse her to never know peace, even in death." Slap, slap. Her father struck her twice, the veins on his forehead bulging. Her mother, sobbing, collapsed against him in grief and shame. "Chloe, how could you?" she wept. "How could you say such things about your own child? Lily is gone, and you take this man to her grave too. You have no hearts, none of you." Her mother's grief was so profound she fainted in her husband's arms. "Ethan," her father said, his voice heavy with defeat. "They're being punished now. Please, let them go. I owe you. Whatever you want, I'll give it to you. Just make the videos stop." I stood up and began to clap, a slow, deliberate sound that echoed in the silent room. Everyone stared at me. "What a performance. Your whole family is quite the group of actors. It's all your fault, Ethan." Chloe screamed, pointing a trembling finger at me. "If it weren't for your defective genes, Lily would never have died. It's your fault. It has nothing to do with me. Caleb and I are in love. Is that so wrong? She should never have existed in the first place." That was the line I had been waiting for. I pulled a folded document from my jacket pocket and threw it on the bed. "Read that. Read it carefully. If you can still smile after you're done, I'll forgive all of you." Her father, accustomed to reading documents, picked it up and began to read aloud, his voice shaking. "The alleged father, Ethan Miller, cannot be the biological father of the child, Lily Miller." It was like a bomb had gone off. Caleb's hands went limp, the papers fluttering to the floor. Chloe crumpled, babbling incoherently. Her father had to shake his wife awake, who listened to the news and promptly fainted again. But the most satisfying reaction was Caleb's. The life drained from his face. A torrent of dark blood poured from his mouth, staining the pristine white sheets. The heart monitor screamed, the same piercing sound I had heard on the day Lily died. It was a beautiful, terrible sound. "His genes are the problem, Chloe. Lily was your daughter. And his," I said, my voice eerily calm. "Surprising, isn't it? From the day she was born, I knew. Her blood type didn't match. I knew I was raising another man's child. But I loved her so much, and I figured you didn't know you were pregnant with his baby, so I raised her as my own. I loved her so much I had forgotten she wasn't mine. But you too. You just couldn't leave it alone. Why did you have to force me to face this? It was your own actions that killed your daughter. And the second baby, that was his too, wasn't it? Did you know, Chloe? After we got married, I had a vasectomy. I didn't want you to have to go through the pain of childbirth again. So when you told me you wanted to get pregnant to save Lily, I knew. I knew you and Caleb had never stopped. I looked at their horrified faces. So tell me, as her biological parents, does it still feel good, what you did on her grave? She was your own daughter. My confession hung in the air. I had finally let it all out. Stop it. Don't say any more. Please. Chloe's voice was a shredded wreck. As I left the room, I heard her screaming Caleb's name. I knew he was gone. He had died staring into space, consumed by his own self-inflicted hatred. After Caleb's death, Chloe lost her mind. She spent all her time at Lily's old grave. Eventually, the video of her and Caleb went so viral that the final thread of her sanity snapped. Her last post on social media was a shaky video of a wild-eyed woman standing on a pier. "I'm coming to find my daughter," she mumbled, before jumping into the ocean. Her death only compounded the Scott family's disgrace. Her parents, their reputation destroyed, became recluses. A few months later, they committed suicide together at home, unable to live with the public shame. Seeing their downfall brought a grim satisfaction. I had Lily's remains moved to a new, peaceful plot. I gave her a new name on a headstone, Joy Miller. You couldn't have happiness in this life. May you have joy in the next. I am sorry, Lily. Perhaps I don't deserve to be your father either. To get justice for you, I used you and your sister. If there's a next life, would you still choose me? And